Fox Sports.
We are Fox. We are Detroit.
Tigers baseball on Fox Sports Detroit is presented by
Bell Tire.
It is another cool, crisp evening here for baseball in Minneapolis. The Tigers' playoff push continues. The Tigers have just 12 games remaining in the regular season. And tonight, the playoff situation looks like this. The Tigers have a game-and-a-half lead over Kansas City in the Central Division. Right now, the wild cards, Oakland and the Royals, Baltimore and the Angels also sitting pretty right now. Hi again, everyone, and welcome to Tigers Baseball. Mario and Pemba alongside Rod Allen. Glad to have you with us here for Game 2 in the series. Good start to the series last night, Rod. The Tigers with a comeback win after blowing a big lead, but really all they have to concern themselves with right now is how they play the game.
There's no question about that, but they just continue to have to go out and play some good baseball against the Minnesota Twins. For whatever reason, Minnesota's played them awfully tough in this year. And they scored 6 runs last night, almost won the game.
All right, now Rick Porcello will get the ball tonight for the Tigers. He'll take the hill. Porcello, of course, as we know, needs to get his ground balls, and he recently has gotten them, has pitched pretty well.
Well, he just has not gotten a whole lot of run support. He hasn't won his last 3 outings, but that has not been his fault. They really have not scored many runs behind him. But if he's going to get back in the winning track, what he needs to do is just pound the bottom of the strike zone like he's pretty much done since coming to the big leagues in 2009. He's thrown 2 ground balls for every fly ball he throws. Tons of double play balls. He fields his position very well. It's going to be imperative for him to make sure that they do get some guys on base. He keeps them very close. They've got some guys that can run, but I really like the Tigers' chances going out there tonight with Rick Porcello on the mound.
All right, we like our chances with Torrey Hunter against the Minnesota Twins, too. Big home run last night. Brought the Tigers back in the 9th inning. He just continues to get it done against his former team.
You know, Torrey grew up in this Minnesota Twins organization, and he was a very good player for them, but he really didn't learn how to hit until he put on that Los Angeles Angels uniform, and most recently putting on that Tigers uniform. In the last 2 years against Minnesota Twins in a Tigers uniform spanning 29 games, he's killed them. 347 average, tons of extra base hits. He's driven in a lot of runs. And then when you add in the on-base percentage and the slugging percentage, you get a really good player. And that's exactly what Torrey's been in his 2 years in a Tigers uni.
All right, now try as they might, the Tigers just cannot seem to handle Joe Mauer. He had another big ball game last night. Mauer knocking in 4 runs in the contest. And when we look at some of the numbers that Mauer's been able to put up against the Tigers over the years, a .316 lifetime batting average. He has knocked in a ton of runs, and you see what he did last night. 2 out of 4 with 4 RBIs, and this is a guy that continues to be trouble. Had an epic at-bat last night against Max Scherzer.
We're going to revisit that at-bat against Max Scherzer. Max even said that Joe Mauer is a tremendous player. Max threw him everything. He started him off with a breaking ball, which was away, and then he proceeded to throw every single pitch on the outer third of home plate, whether it be the fastball, whether it be the changeup, whether it be the slider. He finally got close enough with a changeup that was whistled right back up the box to drive in 2. Joe Mauer came in hitting only .268 with runners in scoring position, but those numbers that we showed you on Joe Mauer against the Tigers, they're pretty gaudy. It doesn't matter what he's doing when they show up. He shows up.
All right, well, the Tigers and the Twins here in Game 2 in the series. We've shown up tonight. After a short break, we'll send you back to the Call Sam Studios. We'll check in with Trevor Thompson. And one guy that has been on point here at Target Field, he's been right on target. Miguel Cabrera hits .350 lifetime in this ballpark. Tigers Twins next. Miguel Cabrera and the rest of the group getting ready. Whoa, look out there. Jobber Chamberlain, good luck beer, getting ready to take on the Minnesota Twins here in Game 2 in this series. Miggy all fired up. Here's the starting lineup for the Tigers here this evening. It's presented by the Southeast Michigan Ford dealers. Kinsler, Hunter, and Cabrera at the top. Miggy having a really good month of September. Victor Martinez, your DH. J.D. Martinez at left. Don Kelly playing third. Castellanos a late scratch tonight. Holiday, Romine, and Rajay Davis rounded out. For the Detroit Tigers, they are facing the right-handed offerings of Ricky Nolasco.
Hey, they signed him to a 4-year free agent contract this offseason, but he really hasn't been that good. In his first 24 starts in a Twins uniform, 5-11, and with an ERA approaching 6. He has a fastball that will top out at 93, average 90. He's got a slider, curveball, and a splitter. Mostly split fingers to the left-handers, not many to the right-handers. Let's take a look at the Minnesota Twins starting defense, brought to you by Tim Hortons. Left to right, they've got Schaefer, Santana, and Hicks. Hicks is primarily a center fielder, only his second career start in right field. Third to first, they've got Plouffe, they've got Escobar, they've got Dozier, they've got Joe Mauer. And Kurt Suzuki, the all-star this year, is the catcher tonight.
And we're ready for baseball here this evening as Ian Kinsler settles into the batter's box on another cool evening here in Minneapolis. It is a very nice night for baseball as well, though, as Kinsler steps in. 11 for 33 in his last 7 against the Twins. It'll be Kinsler, Hunter, and Cabrera. Top 3 for Brad Ausmus. Tigers trying to make it 2 straight over the Twins. And Detroit comes into play with a 4-game win streak. Ricky Nolasco going to work, and here's the first pitch of tonight's ball game. It's a ball outside to Ian Kinsler. 82 driven in this year for the Tigers leadoff man. Nolasco ready with the 1-0. And Kinsler fouls it back 1-1. Ricky Nolasco is 31 years of age. He hails from Corona, California. Off-season free agent signing, but has not performed up to the contract that the Twins gave him. 4-year deal in the offseason. Here's the 1-1. Soft line drive, shallow left center. That'll drop in, base hit. Kinsler taking a wide turn, going to go for 2. Here's the throw, and he is out at second base. Kinsler aggressively coming out of the batter's box, thought he could make it. He's thrown out.
Yeah, that's an ill-advised gamble to start the game by Ian Kinsler. He thought maybe he caught the outfielders napping, but there they were. Aggressively, Santana getting that ball in to get the out at second base. Little bloop single. He ran out of the batter's box hard, but he thought that he caught Danny Santana on his heels slipping. Santana simply flipped the ball to Dozier to apply the tag for the out.
So the bases are empty now for Torrey Hunter.
It's almost like the center fielder Santana deked Ian Kinsler into running.
It kind of looked like that. He was slow in getting to the baseball, but still got him easily. Torrey batting .282, couple of hits last night. The biggest, though, was his 9th inning home run. Broke the 6-all tie.
And here's one more look at Ian Kinsler sliding into second base. It was an aggressive slide, but the tag was applied by Dozier.
There's a bouncing ball to third. Short out pick there by Plouffe, and Torrey is out, 2 away. And now Miguel Cabrera. This is how the ball game started last night. The first 2 were retired by Swarzak, and then Cabrera hit a missile off the right field wall to start a 2-run inning.
And then they had a base open, and they elect to pitch to Victor Martinez instead of pitching around him. And Victor hit a double over the center fielder's head, Schaefer, to drive in Miggy for the first run of the game.
Big night last night for Cabrera overall. He also homered in the 9th inning, giving the Tigers an insurance run. And he looks at ball 1 outside.
Miggy was showing out BP again today for the 2nd consecutive day. He was peppering the seats in right field and left field. You can tell when Miggy's feeling better because he's got that smile on his face. There was a stretch there for about 3-week period where he had nothing but a scowl on his face, and I think a lot of that had to do with the pain that he was in.
Yeah, that certainly was born out of frustration. Swing and a miss. Out in front that time.
74 miles an hour with that lollipop breaking ball thrown by Nolasco. He will do that on occasion.
Nolasco has been good in his last 2 starts, both here in the month of September, so he has pitched a little bit better of late. And he missed outside, that leaving the count now at 2-2.
Every pitch that he has thrown so far to Miguel Cabrera has been away from Miggy.
Victor Martinez waiting on deck. Nolasco in search of a 1-2-3 first. And he'll get it. A swing and a miss. Cabrera down on strikes. And that'll be it for the Tigers. They do get a hit, but Kinsler thrown out at second. We'll go to the bottom of the first. For the Tigers, he is presented by Family Heating, Cooling, and Electrical.
And Porcello really pitched well his last outing, but he ran into big game James Shields of the Kansas City Royals, and Shields did not give up anything. Porcello gave up 2 runs and lost that game, but you know he's going to be around the plate. Only 2 walks in his previous 6 starts. He pitched to a lot of contact.
So we'll see what the Twins can do here in the first inning. Danny Santana will lead things off for Minnesota. Santana having a fine year, .318 batting average. Had a pretty good night last night. Was on base a couple of times, scored a couple of runs. And Porcello goes to work. First one is in there for a strike, 0-1. Santana this year batting .354 versus Tigers pitching. The 0-1 is swung on and missed, and the count is 0-2.
Yeah, not a bad area there to attack Santana. He gets most of his hits, and by hitting ground balls and line drives, but by climbing the ladder with a good fastball, he doesn't have the strength to hit it out of this ballpark on most nights. It will simply be a lazy flyout.
Santana has speed at the top of the lineup, 16 steals. He's knocked in 37. We mentioned that he's hit Tigers pitching really well.
They had him penciled in as the shortstop of the future, but the kid Escobar, who's playing shortstop tonight, has played so well. They're rethinking that. Santana just may be the center fielder for the foreseeable future.
Something going on in the in-house PA system here. So home plate umpire Corey Blazer has halted play. There is a noise that is coming through the speakers here at the ballpark, and so they're waiting for them to get it fixed. And they've just gotten it fixed. And a little sarcastic cheer coming from the crowd. Here are the Twins rookies over the years. .318 for Santana. Tony Oliva's on that list. There's a drive to center right at Rajay Davis. Santana's out, 1 gone. Here's the rest of the lineup for Minnesota, presented by the Metro Detroit Chevy dealers. You saw Santana, Dozier to follow, and then Mauer. Kenny Vargas is the DH, followed by Trevor Plouffe and Kurt Suzuki. Escobar, Hicks, and Schaefer, your bottom three tonight for Ron Gardenhire. Brian Dozier batting .236 settles in. Wave and a miss. He chased one up. Dozier did not have a hit last night, but he did walk a couple of times and scored 2 runs. Tigers last night let a 6-0 lead get away before finally scoring 2 in the 9th. And Dozier looks at a strike, and now it's quickly 0-2. Now Porcello with the 0-2 pitch, and he missed inside.
Yeah, a lot of late life on that 91 mile per hour two-seam fastball there thrown by Porcello. And that gives you an idea of just how and why he gets so many ground balls.
Holiday down there to block it. Alex Avila is off again tonight. They said that he worked out before the game today, and Avila felt a little bit lightheaded again, so they want to make sure that he is 100% before he gets back in there. So Holiday getting some reps. 2-2 is popped up. Middle of the infield, Kinsler and Romine. Kinsler, and there are 2 gone.
Let's take a look at the Tigers starting defense presented by Beaumont Health System. J.D. Martinez, Rajay Davis, Torrey Hunter in the outfield, Romine Kinsler up the middle. No errors last night. Well, actually no errors for Romine in his last 22 games, spanning 76 chances. He's really played well at the shortstop position.
Nick Castellanos fouled a ball off his foot last night, so he was a late scratch today, meaning Kelly, who was going to play center field, is now playing third base tonight. There's a strike called on Joe Mauer. Mauer at 274, knocked in 4 last night. And you see, he saw 27 pitches in his at-bats last night.
And the at-bat that he had against Scherzer, which resulted in a base hit and 2 RBIs, and also the at-bat he had against Phil Coke very late in the game, also driving in 2 runs, were classic Joe Mauer at-bats.
7 innings last night for Scherzer. Struck out 5, gave up 4 runs. It was one of those games where he was cruising 6-0, and you figured easily he would get a win last night.
That's right.
These Twins, man, they have really battled the Tigers this year. The season series has been mostly even.
Since August 1st, they've scored 223 runs. I mean, that's the most in baseball. So it's not just against the Tigers.
Mauer waiting on a 1-2. Got him, strike 3. Joe Mauer caught looking, and Rick Porcello with a dandy start, a 1-2-3 inning. That's his first strikeout of the ball game. Twins down in order, and we go to the second. by Comerica Bank, a part of Detroit and the community since 1849. By Jeep, come in and get a great deal at the Jeep Celebration events. And by Maxwell House Coffee, good to the last drop. Back here at Target Field in Minneapolis tonight, the Tigers-Twins, game 2 in this series. No scores. We go to the second. Nolasco back to the hill. Victor Martinez takes strike 1.
A little swing back fastball at 90 miles an hour there, thrown by Nolasco to Victor Martinez inside.
Victor batting .331, had 2 more hits last night, a couple of doubles. And JD will follow, then Don Kelly. Little tapper hit slowly to the right side, and Nolasco will go cover as Mauer flips to the pitcher. 1 gone.
It's a nice job there by Nolasco. He continues to throw that really slow breaking ball. He threw it to Miguel Cabrera. He also threw it right here to Victor Martinez. And he had Victor out on that front foot. But watching Nolasco simply go for it. And once the ball gets past him, he knows Mauer is going to be there. So his next responsibility is to get to the bag. Initially, he thought he could field it, but he was not able to get there in time to field it.
Now JD Martinez. He'll slow down one of these days, they keep saying. But there's only 2 weeks left in the season, and he still continues to swing a hot bat.
I watched him take some swings yesterday right underneath the Tigers dugout. They have a cage right there before they go into their locker room, and he was in there with Darnell Coles, and it was amazing just to watch him and how focused he is right now, even in his touch and field drills, which are like soft toss and tee work and those kind of drills. Locked in.
Well, the numbers indicate that. .310 batting average. The month of September, he's hit 5 home runs. Here's Wally Joyner, the Tigers hitting coach.
One of the best ways to describe JD Martinez is a hungry player. He's been released once. He does not want to get released again.
Foul back.
It's not a really nice experience for any player to ever get released.
There's Don Kelly waiting on deck. Now Nolasco with the 0-2. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
And Dozier, the second baseman, is camped out right behind second base. JD Martinez has not hit many balls right between that vacated hole on the right side of the infield. Nor does he try.
Driven down the right field line. That'll get fouled back out of play.
But there aren't many better stories in the American League this year than JD Martinez.
Well, there are a few that are kind of intriguing. I don't think that there are any better than Martinez. I mean, he really, from the time he was released, was given new life and hit 10 home runs in April at Toledo, and well, the rest is history. And even JD, when he first joined the Tigers, wasn't immediately put into the lineup. It's not like he hit the ground running. He kind of had to earn his playing time and then keep it.
Had a couple of big pinch hits, 1 homer. And that kind of led to Brad Ausmus continuing to find opportunities for JD.
And Nolasco missed inside that time.
Well, the last couple of hitters he's gotten out with that really slow breaking ball. He has not thrown one of those yet to JD Martinez. A little curveball at about 75 miles an hour.
Checked it. Did he go? Did not. So says Quinn Wolcott down at first base. Full count now, 3-2. So this has turned into a nice lengthy battle for Martinez.
A nice grind and out at bat for JD.
Here's the 9th pitch in this AB, and he walked him. 1 out base runner. And let's go down to the field now. Check in with John Keating.
Well, you at home are probably aware the Tigers have a pretty big series this weekend in Kansas City, and Brad Ausmus doesn't want to give away, well, anything, and didn't want to commit to who his starting pitchers would be yesterday. In fact, he said it was being worked out. It was still fluid. Today he confirmed that, yes, David Price will start for the Tigers tomorrow because this is the start that he had prepared for. This is the team he had prepared for. So it's Price tomorrow in the series finale. And then at least right now, guys, Kyle Lobstein against Jeremy Guthrie in the opener at Kauffman Stadium.
All right, John, thanks. You know, I know, Rod, you and I were talking about last night the fact that maybe, just maybe, they might push Price back. But apparently that's the way that Brad wants to go. He's got Price, who has worked to make the start tomorrow and is prepared for it tomorrow, and he's going to pitch tomorrow.
And he also told me, Brad, today that Justin Verlander will make his next start despite having a little bit of a blister issue on his thumb. Justin threw a bullpen today, so he'll get the ball in Kansas City as well. We just don't know the order.
Here's Don Kelly. Ball low and inside to Kelly. 2-1. The Tigers have their second base runner. Technically, Kinsler was thrown out trying to stretch a leadoff single to start the game into a double. Breakdown on Nolasco through his first 25. He has not been very economical to this point. And he missed again. 3 balls, 1 strike. Brian Holiday waiting on deck.
I don't know how aggressive Brad wants to be here today as far as putting runners in motion, but if he wanted to do so, he could start JD here and force Don Kelly into swinging.
Runner holds and it's ground ball to second. Dozier, nice play, flips to second 1. There's a double play.
Even if he would have been on the move, they probably still would have been able to turn that one over.
So we'll go to the bottom of the second in Minnesota. No score.